This video we can learn about SQL Server Basics interview questions for freshers interview. What is DBMS? The Database Management System is a collection of programs that enables users to store, retrieve, update, and delete information from a database. What is RDBMS? Relational Database Management System (RDBMS) is a database management system (DBMS) that is based on the relational model. Data from relational database can be accessed or reassembled in many different ways without having to reorganize the database tables. Data from relational database can be accessed using an API, a structured query language. What is SQL? Structured Query Language (SQL) is a language designed specifically for communicating with databases. SQL is an ANSI, American National Standards Institute, standard. 4. What are the different types of SQL statements? This is one of the most frequently asked SQL interview questions for freshers. SQL statements are broadly classified into three. They are DDL, Data Definition Language. DDL is used to define the structure that holds the data. For example, create, alter, drop, and truncate table. DML, Data Manipulation Language. DML is used for manipulation of the data itself. Typical operations are insert, delete, update, and retrieving the data from the table. The select statement is considered as a limited version of the DML since it can't change the data in the database, but it can perform operations on data retrieved from the DBMS before the results are returned to the calling function. DCL, Data Control Language. DCL is used to control the visibility of data like granting database access and set privileges to create tables, etc. Example, grant, revoke access permission to the user to access data in the database. What are the advantages of SQL? SQL is not a proprietary language used by specific database vendors. Almost every major DBMS supports SQL, so learning this one language will enable programmers to interact with any database like Oracle, SQL, MySQL, etc. SQL is easy to learn. The statements are all made up of descriptive English words, and there aren't that many of them. SQL is actually a very powerful language, and by using its language elements you can perform very complex and sophisticated database operations. What is a field in a database? A field is an area within a record reserved for a specific piece of data. Examples: employee name, employee ID, etc. 4. What is difference between unique key constraint and primary key constraint? 80% asked SQL interview questions. Answer: primary key constraint. 1. Primary key will not accept the null values in the table column. 2. Primary is basically used to identify the unique records in the table. 3. We have only one primary key per table. Unique key constraint. 1. Unique key accepts the null values in the table. 2. The main task of unique key is it is used to remove duplicate values from the table with exception of null entry. 3. We will have more than one unique keys on a single table. What is materialized view in SQL? Answer: materialized view is also logical structure of one or more table in which data is stored physically in the view. Data has been stored physically in materialized view, so data retrieval is faster as compared to simple view. 18. Explain me about SQL joins. Answer: click here to get answer and details. Join is nothing but connecting two tables to fetch the records from two or more different tables. There are following types of joins in SQL. 1. Inner join. Inner join returns the records which are common between two or more tables. 2. Outer join. Outer join retrieves the common records from the table as well as uncommon records from left or right table. 2.1.left outer join. When user needs to fetch all data from left table and common records from left and right table, then the join is called as left outer join. 2.2.right outer join. When user needs to fetch all data from right table and common records from left and right table, then the join is called as right outer join. 2.3. Full outer join. When user needs to fetch the data from both the tables and common records from both of the tables. 3. Cross join, Cartesian join. When each and every record is connected to each and every record from other table, then it is called as cross join or Cartesian join. 20. What is index and what are types of indexes? 80% asked SQL interview questions. Answer. Indexing is nothing but the performance tuning mechanism which allows the fast retrieval of the records from table. Following are types of indexes. 1. Normal indexes. 2. Bitmap indexes. 3. Unique indexes. 4. Clustered indexes. 5. Non-clustered indexes. How many aggregate functions are available there in SQL? SQL aggregate functions calculates values from multiple columns in a table and returns a single value. There are 7 aggregate functions we use in SQL. Average returns the average value from specified columns. Count returns number of table rows. Max returns largest value among the records. Min opening parenthesis returns smallest value among the records. Sum returns the sum of specified column values. First returns the first value. Last returns last value. Question number 11. What are scalar functions in SQL? Scalar functions are used to return a single value based on the input values. Scalar functions are as follows. UCAS converts the specified field in uppercase. UCAS converts the specified field in lowercase. Mid extracts and returns character from text field. Format specifies the display format. Len specifies the length of text field. Round rounds up the decimal field value to a number. Question number 12. What are triggers? Triggers in SQL is kind of stored procedures used to create a response to a specific action performed on the table, such as insert, update, or delete. You can invoke triggers explicitly on the table and the database. Action and event are 2 main components of SQL triggers. When certain actions are performed, the event occurs in response to that